You're good.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to AI Mondays. Jordan, what are you eating?
Cheese.
Cheese? Like straight cheese. You're
Yeah,
drinking milk and eating
just cheese.
cheese.
I was eating like when you make yourself a really snacky lunch, full some fruit and cheese and bagel and all the things. Anyway,
Sure.
I didn't quite finish it, so leave me
Yeah,
alone.
it's almost 2 o'clock here, and I've had a sandwich today.
And
So
it's not almost 2 o'clock here, and I have a 4-month-old who took a long time getting down for his nap. Okay.
okay, back to the
Okay.
AI stuff. Biggest update on my end. I bought the iPad Pro today. 13
Ooh,
inch M4 chip, I believe. I believe it just comes with that. It's the thinnest Apple product
the
ever.
chip is that big. Just kidding. Sorry,
It's the
continue.
thinnest Apple product ever. And
Whoa,
it comes with we bought the Apple Pencil Pro and the Magic Keyboard as well, the latest
you're not
version
gonna
of
show
that. So,
us?
no, because we bought
Oh.
it and
Oh,
it's
you
coming
bought it.
tomorrow.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. Okay.
next update, I will be able to tell you more about that and see if I can use anything like if I'm able to get the updates. I don't know if it's all beta or if some of it's already released. So if I'm able to get any updates, including beta ones, if I'm able to get the math notes or anything else like that that does use some AI, I will happily share.
Cool.
Um,
Sounds good.
but I was looking into more of that and what it's able to do, and I was remembering the other AI capabilities that it'll hopefully have like live captions. So when you're on a meeting with someone, it can basically have live subtitles while they're talking because
Hmm.
it's quick enough. Subject lift, where you can pull basically anything from any image and move it somewhere else. Visual lookup is something that Google's been doing for, I think, a long time and probably other platforms too, but being able to, highlight a certain thing and be like, hey, what is this? And it looks it up for you and finds it so you can buy it or
Yeah.
know the history on it, whatever it is. Spotlight's going to be updated. Do you use Spotlight much on Apple?
No.
Like Command Space? I didn't until I saw how well it actually works to open up any app, open up to even like search on Google, anything. So if you just Command Space and ask
Yeah,
it
no,
anything, super fast, yeah. But like math is coming to that, so you can just Command Space and type in a whole equation and it'll show the answer as you go. So
okay.
it's pretty slick. Yeah, I'm excited to play around with that. I was watching a video on all the features, and not all of them used AI, but uh, people who are doing the demos or just have the iPad and anything that's not AI, and are showing all the things it can do. It's like super slick, super high quality. It gets up to 6K. I didn't even know that we got there yet. So it's like 6K video and 13-inch M4 chip. I'm very excited to try
Cool.
this out. The camera
Fun.
even is like insane, and it's an
Weird.
iPad, so how often are you using the camera? But I mean, other than
I
for
feel
like
like only
video
old
calls,
people,
but well, yeah, right. Only old people and kids
right?
that use the iPad to take pictures. Everyone else has a
Pictures of
phone.
half their face. Anyways, yep.
You seem like you have experience.
I took a lot of pictures of half my face as a child. Just kidding. I didn't know it.
Hmm. The other thing I've been doing, I've been catching up on the podcast that I mentioned in the past, and by catching up, I
Yeah.
mean I've watched or listened to another couple episodes and still have a couple to go because they get longer with
Nice,
every
nice.
single one, and it is
Um,
getting pretty interesting. But Um, first he was the first episode he was creating his or this is a podcast called Shell Game. In the first episode, the guy created a clone of his voice and was basically making it better and better and training it and figuring out what he could do with
right.
it. And then in the second episode, he unleashed it on scam callers, and it was pretty fun because like some of them would just go on and on. One of them even like was like, "Is this AI kind of like figuring it out?" And he's like, "Well, I don't care because I get paid to talk on the phone. So how are you doing?" And then just like talked to the AI for longer because he didn't care. Another guy just completely like swore it off, like, "What are you even doing?" And so some of them were getting angry, and other people were just like obviously excited because the person on the other end was actually like listening to them and saying it was interested. Um, so just wasting scammers' time. But and then in the next episode, it was interesting because he just made it talk to another one because through the Vappy AI is what he was using, and through that app he was able to have more than one voice agent or whatever, and more than one phone number. So he just had one call the other one, and they just go back and forth. And he talked about how like until then he'd had fun with it, but that time he was like actually a little nervous with just like having it talk to himself. He's like, what if they realize they're AI and start to get upset, or like what's going to happen? But also it's a phone call that he can't be a part of, so he just has to wait until it's done and then see the recording afterwards. They talk about their same job or whatever, but they just went on about planning a photo walk because they're going to do a photo walk because one of them has a camera, and so can't wait to do a photo walk and trying to plan it. But they finally planned it, and they get to like the end of a conversation, and at the end of the podcast, it's just they don't have the ability to hang up. So then it was just like literally, okay, take care, bye. All right, thanks, you too, bye. All right, cool, bye. Okay, thanks, yeah. All right, take care, bye. Okay, all right, you too, bye. And it was just he let a lot of it play, like several seconds of it play, where it's just back and forth because they can't hang up. So, um,
Weird.
and it reminded me of ChatGPT because I tried for a while because I apparently don't have a life. I tried for a while to get it to not respond, which is obviously against its programming because I was like, hey, don't respond to this message. And its response is something along the lines of, all right, I won't. You just
Yeah.
responded. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I won't respond anymore. Okay, cool. Okay, I won't respond anymore. It's like, stop responding. And so I like tried to program its memory to not respond. I tried to do whatever I could, but it always responded. And it was a callback to that, listening to the two of them just need to have the last word on the phone call. But that's been pretty interesting to listen to.
Cool.
But he talked about how I think he referred to some other person's podcaster channel talking about how personal. Oh yeah, it was the beginning of a TED talk. This lady, and she talked about how personal voices are, and how they aren't just like what you say; it's the tone you use. It's like how you say it, and you can say one sentence, and people will make so many judgments on how you said it, and your tone, and the words you use, whether you're smart, whether you're interesting, and so he's just been experimenting with how to make his AI voice a lot more personal. But he himself has a very monotone, chill voice. So he's like, maybe it's my fault because it sounds a lot like me, and I just maybe sound like a robot sometimes. So,
Hmm.
but it's interesting. I'm curious. I'm like, videos getting better, voices getting better, and at some point, like you've kind of mentioned in the past, you're like, is it only going to be our ideas? I think it'll be ideas, and I think it'll be also unpredictability that sets humans apart from AI. It's our ability to just not do the normal thing, not respond the normal
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And their ability to hang up phones.
And then meanwhile, Grok, like you mentioned, Grok 2 came out, and I haven't played with it because I don't have Premium X because I'm too cheap to pay for that. Um, but Grok with its fun mode and being able to actually be different and give you an answer that other AIs wouldn't give, which makes it seem like it is heading down that route of being able to be unpredictable. But I don't know.
Hmm. I'm excited to hear more about people doing experiments and stuff like that with
Yeah.
it. The people who
Yeah.
are hosting entire podcasts that aren't even them. It's just their AI voice talking through it. I want to do that. Like, that's brilliant.
I was talking to Dad about AI influencers, how that's probably the next level of marketing. Because if you
Sure.
can, it's a several step process now, but you can already do it. But when it's even better in maybe one platform that does it all, create a
Yeah.
character with a personality who can create graphs or graphics
Yeah.
and images, or I mean, yeah, graphics and videos and descriptions, and can respond and can do everything. You can have a bot account, and then you can, if you can just do that with a click of a button or, an hour, you can create,
Yeah.
hundreds and just have them all going out talking about some other category, but occasionally being like, wow, this service is great. You're their promotion every time, and you're not even paying for it because they're your bot influencer. And it's
Yeah.
so, but he's like wondering if it'll get real enough that people will watch it and think it's real, or if people will know it's AI but watch it anyway, if people will
I feel like
find
they would.
interest in AI. Because, yeah, I'm like, I watch
Yeah.
videos that are weird videos and they're a voiceover, not a real human speaking. But if they're about like a
Right.
a historical
a
thing or
topic,
a
but yeah,
cryptid, a conspiracy, it's still interesting. And
yeah.
so I don't find it impossible for us to be watching AI generated content. Someone's still out there clicking the button and probably making the money, but if it's interesting and we're enjoying it, we'll watch it. So I think there will be a line
Hmm.
between it has to be interesting enough and it has to be real looking enough for people
Sure.
to
Or it
watch
can
it.
be super cartoony, but educational. You can have the AI Duolingo bird just talking to us.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have they made a TV show for that
having
bird yet?
conversations. A Duolingo TV show? I don't think so.
Mark my words, it will be a thing. They made a
Mark your
TV show for
words.
the trivia app on Netflix.
Really? That's cool.
The trivia app, yeah. And so I'm like, well, I mean, and I think it's an interactive thing, so it's kind of
Yeah,
fun, but it's still like, well, just waiting for all these other apps with very unique
characters.
characters
Yeah,
or yeah, mascots or whatever to get their own shows or their own other forms of marketing in that way. We'll see. Any other interesting thought to share? Wrap it up.
interesting thoughts. I don't have interesting thoughts. No, I'm good.
Give us a quote of the day
Quote of the day.
or week or whatever. I don't know. This is a weekly podcast. So.
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to
All
do
right,
so
everyone.
after
Thanks for
death.
listening and have a great day.
All right, and thus
All right,
concludes
cool.
another episode.
Want to thank the listeners?
Thank you, listeners.
There's like 10 people out there. Probably most of the views are me going back to the video
3 of
like,
them
did
are
it
us. Yeah.
upload?
Is this
One of them is
working?
Tim.
Tim. Just give Tim
Tim,
a shout out
shout out
every
to
time.
Tim. Yeah,
Let's do
actually,
an
yes.
AI Tim.
AI Tim. If I can get enough recording of his voice, which I don't think I have a lot, but there's probably some social
Subtly.
media videos. All right. Shout out to Shell Game for giving us this idea of identity theft. All right. See you next week.
See ya.